like many concerned African journalists, the dominance of foreign coaches over indigenous coaches on the African continent is very disturbing. At African Cup of Nations competitions, most African teams are managed by foreign coaches. Ugandan sports journalist Usher Komugisha looks at this issue with lots of regrets, as she also speaks about challenges in covering African competitions. This issue of African countries using foreign coaches, and some of our local coaches, indigenous coaches, have shown they are up to the task. You, as a very seasoned reporter, you have watched them, you've seen them. We're talking about Keshi. How do you feel about this? You go to cover such a huge African tournament and you find out 3/4, if not 5/6 of the coaches, are foreigners.
I mean, it's because as Africans, we have to celebrate our own, but not just for the sake of celebrating our own. We have people who can act job. But when you look at the mentality of football managers, and when I say football managers, I mean leaders of federations, sports ministries, when you look at how they do things, you see that they're not intentional. The terms that they give a local coach is not exactly the same that they give, So you have a situation where a federation will hire a foreign coach and pay him $20,000, but when they hire a local coach, they don't even give him a contract. And what they pay him, they will say, we'll give you $1,000. And even the $1,000, after 7 months, they've not paid him. So we have to look and come clean, like leave this colonial mentality and give opportunities to the sons of the soil. Because no one to give a Cameroonian coach an opportunity to coach a European team at the UEFA Nations League or at the World Cup. It's not happening. It's not happening right now, So why are we not giving the sons of the soil these opportunities like we're giving foreigners? And that's a question that if you ask the federation presidents, they'll just go around circles and they'll not say what they're trying to do. If you look at the history of the FIFA World Cup, for example, absolutely no foreign coach has ever won. Can you imagine that? Every coach that has won the World Cup is from that country, never a foreigner. So if you go, Didier Deschamps, if you go, you go back all the way.
It's true. You're very correct. You're very correct. Leblanc.
It's never been. Leblanc.
And look at all the Brazilians.
Yeah. If you go back, the history of the world, 1930. Yes, 1930. And I keep saying this because I remember doing an interview with Al Jazeera and they were asking me the question about the final. And I was thinking, look, do you know what it feels for Ali Cisse at halftime? Algeria is leading and he gets into the dressing room and he speaks to the players in Wolof, he tells them, guys, let's go, in Wolof, and maybe Belmadi, at halftime, same thing. He sits down with the players. They have a situation where they are maybe speaking Arabic, they're Algerian Arabic, the dialect, the one that all of them understand, things like that. Like if you have an off day, you're preparing for a big final like that, you sit down and all of you eat perhaps maybe aloko, you eat some aloko, you eat some saltfish, something that all of you can relate to and makes you feel at home as Cameroonians. For me, I think it looks like a small thing, but it's a very, very important thing that those big countries have realized over the years, over the decades, that if we will go very far.
Now, Usher, let me just take you down to your experience as a reporter covering these various AFCONs. What has been your experience so far?
Well, it's been incredible covering African football. We have a very beautiful continent that has a lot of talent, and this talent cuts from players. You have male and female, even referees, officials, everyone who's trying to contribute. Me, really, what stands out is that we have to tell our own stories on the African continent. We have to tell the world what it's like on it, not the world telling us who we are as a people. Because so many people, when they talk about Africa, think about diseases or lions or elephants. It's very rich. Our countries are diverse, but also we are the same. We're the same people. We love our culture, we love our music, we love food. And for me, these experiences are what have stood out for me over the years. And I usually joke on these WhatsApp groups, African, and even my WhatsApp status says I'm an African by nationality. I don't think about myself as just a Ugandan. I'm Union, because if you, by the way, look at the history properly of the Bantu people in Uganda, we believe that they came from Cameroon. And for example, names like Ondoa or Onana, and you think about the Nilotic players, for example, from Uganda, like Onyango, yeah, he's Nilotic. We believe that originally they came down like that, and now settled in Uganda, Eastern Uganda as well, and also Western parts of Kenya. So the Jaluos, the Luos, Lugbars, all these people are originally from Cameroon. So we're the same people. If you think about, for example, even Congo, it's colonial borders that are separating us, but we're really the same people. And football, as much as maybe someone is supporting Leopa or Angola or South Africa, Bafana, it really brings us together. And for me, that's what I love to see and to illuminate that football is one of the greatest, things that Africa has to showcase.
That's right. And Usher, what are some of the challenges you might have faced in covering these AFCONs?
Wow. AFCON, yeah, AFCON, it's crazy. It's crazy because most of the time, obviously, before we were talking about 16 teams, now we have 24 teams. So sometimes you look for information about certain teams, and it's not easy to find this information, perhaps because we don't have like a one-stop center where you can find information, for example, about the league in Burkina Faso, to find information about the league in Benin. I don't know who is on top of the table standings there right now. Also, as the media, we're not really profiling our players. And even when we profile, we're not using stats. There's a couple of journalists in Ghana who are doing an incredible job using stats to highlight their league at home. But most of Africa, they don't have these stats. So let's say if I'm doing commentary of a game and I need to look up this information, it's difficult. Today, FIFA released a very long list of the highest and most capped players in world football. And actually, there's some Cameroonian names. Sorry, Gobat Song, Samuel Eto'o, Jeremy Jitap. There's a couple of them. And then I was seeing a Rwandan player, Haruna Niyonzima, the captain. And I was like, whoa, he has 104 caps. Absolutely no one knew that, even him himself. So we don't keep these stats. And even when you ask, they don't know. They don't know how many times they've played for the national teams. They don't know how many times they've scored.